Well, hello there everyone, my name is Amy, this is The Opinionated Woman, and welcome to a different kind of book video. This is a video all about my signed copies of books because I recently went to an author event. I spoke about it in the vlog where I read two anticipated releases, so I'll link that down below. But I have found that I actually have a really good stock of signed copies that I've got from different places, so I just wanted to go through them and just like tell some fun little stories about like how I acquired them, because like there's some fun little anecdotes to go along with each one. Okay, so the first one is an absolute classic, and that is It's Okay, I'm Wearing Really Big Knickers by Louise Renison. This I got in a W.H. Smith's when I was a kid. This book is from like 2000, I think. Let me double check. This book is from 2000. So I got it there when I was like 10. I went for a visit, and this was on a book stand of all the signed copies because we were in London, because that's where my dad's family is from. So I managed to get myself a copy that was signed, and it was a series that I absolutely love. It started with Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging. There it is, and it's even cooler because she has since passed away, so this is like quite, it's not cool that she passed away, it's just cool that I got this before she passed away. So that started off my collection of signed books. Then I have an aunt who works in publishing. She works for Jonathan Ball Publishers, and she knew that I like John Connolly, so she got hold of me and said, John Connolly is doing an event at Rosebank. This is when I used to live in Joburg. Because he's part of her publishing and everything, like he's got a new book coming out. So I was like, sick. So I took two books with me. No, wait. Yes, I took two books with me, and both of them are very entertaining. So John Connolly writes thrillers. They're based around this main character called Charlie Parker and his two sort of sidekicks, Angel and Louis. He is like a private investigator who went through a lot of trauma around his family, like right in the beginning of this series, and he's like an investigator, and there's like paranormal aspects in a lot of his books, and I really enjoyed them. So the first book of his that I read was The Unquiet. This is actually the first boy to ever break my heart lent me this book and then dumped me before I could return it. So guess what, bitch? It's still mine. So I thought that I had to get that signed. So that was in 2015. He said, a pleasure to meet you. Big hugs, John Connolly, which is very funny because these books can be really gruesome, and he is just the nicest little happy Irish man that you've ever met. And then what might be a bit of a cheek, but like the book that he was releasing, I got a uncorrected proof copy from the aunt. And he said, thanks for coming to say hi. And he signed that for me as well. So that's also, he put the date on it, which is really nice, April 2015. Oh, I'm dropping them. Then 1 year later, when I had moved to Cape Town, John Connolly came back. His wife is actually South African. So he was doing something at the book lounge, which I love. I love going to the book lounges, book events. And so I was like, you know what, I'm not going to pass up a chance to see him again. So I bought this from the book lounge. That was his latest book, A Time of Torment. This one is new and not an uncorrected proof. And I got to see him chat again. He's just the nicest guy. And he said, lovely to see you again, which was very sweet. So I've got 3 John Connollys. I don't think he's come back since then. Obviously, pandemics and things happened like that since then. But I was so chuffed to be able to grab some of his books, and he is someone that I continue to read from. So it's really cool to have like 3 signed copies. It's really nice. Then again, from the same aunt, I often, when I go to Joburg, I look in her bookshelves and then I ask if I can borrow some books, and then I return them to her. And I picked up The City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert because I'd heard that it was very interesting, and I didn't realize it was gay, but it was also gay. And I was reading it, so I go to read it, and I'm like, wait a second, what the fuck is that? And I had to message her and say, Julie, I'm so sorry, but I've accidentally taken a signed copy of this book. And she was like, actually, I have 2 signed copies. You can keep that one. So that is pretty cool. This book really is worth a read. It's a really good historical fiction. Then I was so I have a person that I'm friends with on Instagram, and she works for the Book Lounge, or she did at some point. I don't know if she still does. And we went on a couple of dates, but didn't like work out. But I knew that she was like a really good person to go to for book recommendations. So I messaged her and I asked her for book recommendations. And one of her recommendations was a book recommendation from South Africa specifically, was How to Be a Revolutionary by C.A. David. Hugo, do you have to drink water right now? I'm filming a video, sir. Mr. Dog. Thank you. So when I saw that there was going to be a release party, like a release event for this book, I was like, okay, perfect. That's a great opportunity. I can go buy the book and I can go see her talk about it. It was very interesting. It was so nice to see a local author. I really want to keep my eye out for some authors that I'm interested in. I know they have been doing events, but none of them have been like authors that I'm particularly interested in. But yes, I've managed to get this one, and it says, thank you for reading. I hope it brings you joy. Just very, very cool. And she put that, yes, that was 2022 that I got that one. Then completely unexpectedly, I was doing that 3 books for 150 Rand deal that is at some bargain books. Oh, a dream. I love that special so much. And I picked up Death in Her Hands by Tessa Moshfegh, which is a really weird, creepy, mysterious novel. And I picked it up because I enjoyed my year of rest and relaxation. It was also a very beautiful book, and it has French flaps, which I really liked. And then when I got home and looked at it closer, it's fucking signed. I don't know how and why this happened, but I have a Tessa Moshfegh signature in one of my books, and I think that is cool as all fuck. So yeah, that was just a completely unexpected little gem. And then the 2 books that made me decide to do this, because I realized that I had quite a good collection, and that is both of these books by Candice Carty-Williams, and that is Queenie and People Person. I read this one a few years ago, absolutely loved it. I read this year. It's on my favorite books of the year so far, spoiler. But yeah, I went to an author event recently. Like I said, it's going to be in the vlog of me going to see her talk, and Bolu Babalola was also there. I haven't read her books because they're straight romances, and I don't really read purely romance that's completely straight. So of course she signed in hot pink. She said, yeah, wonderful to meet you in SA. And then this one, thank you for coming. And then she did a little crown on both of them, and that's very her. She's got such a big personality. She's got such a beautiful sense of styles. Like, her clothes were so cool. Like, oh, she was just so cool. She was so cool. So of course my favorite books are the ones where I actually get to meet the author themselves, because that's so much fun and such a treat. So hopefully I can build this collection along with maybe some more local authors if there's like some new books coming out. I'm not sure what's happening, but I will keep an eye out on the Book Lounge for sure. Have you read any of these books? What books do you have that are signed? Let me know, and tell me like a little bit of the story. I think that'll be interesting. If you want to see any more from me, I have an Instagram and a TikTok link down below. I'm very active on TikTok and on Instagram. And I also have a Kofi link, which is like a little one-time tip jar if you ever want to support my channel. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and I'll check you next time.